right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for your weekly MMA podcast called Split Decision, brought to you from the Rudloff Family Inc. studios. It is Bueller and Dodge on the mics, ready to give you some news, break down some fight cards, and of course talk about the Ultimate Fighter. Big thanks to StrongboardBalance.com for covering our sponsorship. Get on board, change the way you work out, StrongboardBalance.com. Do you have yours? Did you get it back?
It's at my house right now.
Your house? Are you using it?
He's not even using it.
Every other day.
Every other day. StrongboardBalance.com. Make sure you check them out. And, of course, MyMMAnews.com. They're going to be out at the MMA Classic Expo, which is happening, like, next week.
Next weekend, yeah.
Next weekend out there in Syracuse, New York. Still got time to get your tickets at MMAClassicExpo.com. Make sure you tell your friends. You can get us on Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, and, of course, iHeartRadio, which is fantastic. The best MMA podcast on iHeartRadio. Hands down. Without a doubt. And our website's still down, so don't go there. But on Twitter and Instagram, it's SD_MMA, and on Facebook, it's Split Decision MMA Podcast. Tell your friends. That's all out of the way. Let's go ahead and jump into some MMA news.
Tank Abbott's in a little bit of trouble. He recently did his own podcast where he talked about Ronda Rousey and fighting her.
He's in trouble?
Well, I guess people are like saying he's an idiot.
Well, he is an idiot.
He's Tank Abbott.
He's Tank Abbott, right? He was saying, obviously talking about the Ronda Rousey-Floyd Mayweather feud. He says, at the end of the day, Pretty Boy Floyd would knock the living stuffing out of Ronda Rousey. She's a girl. It's all about this emotional stuff. I'd fight any woman on this earth for free. If I win, which is going to happen, and you're going to get bashed up good, you have to make me a sandwich. But if you win, I'll give you $100,000.
I'm surprised for as much time as he likes hugging men that he even has a comment.
I don't even think he could get his mitts on Ronda Rousey.
I don't think he has $100,000.
No, that's 100% accurate. Like, he'd have to take out a loan to pay her for one. It's a drop in the bucket for Ronda anyway, but...
$10.
I mean, let's break this fight down real quick.
Hold on. UFC legend Frank Shamrock says, I think he spends a little too much time on the bar stool. Maybe he'd probably get submitted in 20 seconds. He'd be bent over the ring, throwing up all the alcohol. Vitor Belfort said, I think he's wrong. He's a great fighter, but Ronda could beat him easily. Speed always beats size. Thunder makes noise. Lightning does damage. Everybody just overwhelmingly agrees that Tank Abbott's out of his mind.
What do you think, Mr. Gene Fields?
I think he's out of his league.
He pounds back the vodka cranberries like a mofo, and Ronda Rousey would just take his legs out from underneath him, and eventually he would be like they said,
just armbar him, choke him.
He'd be huffing and puffing, and then he'd get just like the chick who triangle choked that guy down in Brazil.
Yeah,
that'd be Tank.
Yeah. So do you think this? I mean, obviously this is never going to happen, but
I'd pay for it.
Yeah, it won't happen.
I mean, this happened. What was the guy he fought? Like the guy he had the rematch from back in like UFC 5 or 6 or something like that. They had that backyard rematch they put on YouTube.
Brawl.
You remember that?
Vaguely, yeah. I wanted him to fight Kimbo.
That would have been a good fight. That could still happen.
It probably still wouldn't be a good fight though.
Free on CBS.
Free on maybe, I don't know.
NBC Sports.
It's free at your local Little League park.
We already seen that fight.
Yeah, that one already happened. That was on YouTube. Speaking of Ronda Rousey, she was named one of Fortune 500, the top 40 under 40.
Top 40 under 40?
Top 40 under 40. Most influential people.
Yeah.
They're saying this is the year of Ronda.
There's a troll account on Facebook. It's Mothers Against Violent Sports that has launched a campaign against Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, did you see that? Kardashian is
it's a troll account. It's a fake ass account, but it's hilarious.
But it's funny.
If you look at it, if you realize it's a troll account, then yeah. But people who don't realize it's a troll, at first I was like, you got to be out of your fucking mind. And I started reading it, and I was like, oh,
humor.
I got it. Not really. It's not very good humor. It's just it's stupid satire. But yeah, it's a big campaign online on Facebook. You'll probably see it. Mothers Against Violent Sports saying that Kim Kardashian should be a child's role model, not Ronda Rousey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Johnny Hendricks recently doing an interview where he talks about he believes both fans and Robbie Lawler are afraid of him. He says he doesn't understand why he didn't get his rematch. He said it's not the UFC's fault, it's the fans. Whenever they do polling of the fans, they want something different. It sucks because I get injured after winning the title. I come back. Lawler fights Jake Ellenberger, Matt Brown. He's the number one guy. I think I win. I lose for some crazy reason. Then all of a sudden I fight somebody else. He fights somebody else. Instead of him saying, I want to take number one contender, which is me. But he has a fear of losing the belt and keeping him from fighting me. He goes and fights someone else. Again, Johnny Hendricks cries now a lot. And then this big thing that I took that fight, and realistically, I don't understand. I outstruck him 2-1 in the 4th round, and I lose the fight. I don't understand. It's the same thing as George St. Pierre.
That should be on his belt. I don't understand.
You
know what? He don't have a belt.
Just because you won one round 2-1 does not make you win a 5-round fucking fight, Johnny Hendricks.
It's called math. I know
it's
math
called
is hard.
math.
Math is hard.
I'm tired of Johnny Hendricks.
Good.
crying
Yeah.
and whining and being like, well, I ground and pounded him in the second round, and I got a takedown, and then he got one takedown, but that negates it, so I got the other half takedown, and so I think I'm half takedown ahead of him, so I should win.
Challenge Ronda, Johnny.
He needs to stop breaking down fights and just fight.
Go back to fighting like you used to, where you would just go throw caution in the wind.
When he would win.
When he would actually win,
Yeah.
instead of complaining that he lost.
Basically, if you're not going to finish the fight, you have no grounds to say anything about
Right?
it.
I should have fought harder. That's it.
I was only at 80%.
Yeah, I was 80%.
Well, my left arm was at 70.
Yeah.
My right arm was
My
at
right
80.
leg was 100% though, and that 100% should negate that 70.
Stop
So
it.
I'm at about 67%, and then I think I got a 52% chance of winning. So that puts me at like 111%. Right? I win.
Stop mathing. Hendricks, stop mathing. Get the motherfucker a calculator and a book on fractions.
An abacus.
An abacus.
Maybe he should also see like how fights are judged.
Right?
Lyoto Machida's calling out Michael Bisping. Says he wants to fight him next.
That'd be interesting.
Is he bored?
Michael Bisping is already in the middle of fighting. Well, he's going to be fighting Robert Whittaker November 15th in Australia. However, would you like to see Machida fight Bisping?
I guess. I mean, they're both fun to watch standing up.
Yeah.
You know, Bisping is always Bisping's gonna move forward the entire time, which is great when somebody moves forward against Machida the whole time, then Machida fights. This isn't gonna be fireworks or anything, but it's an interesting matchup. Yeah, Machida probably wins.
Taking Machida. Well, are you sure you can go against your favorite British guy?
He's not my favorite British guy.
Favorite British fighter?
I don't understand why I'm forced to adopt Michael Bisping.
Because you love him.
I don't love him.
You are so upset he does not get title shots.
He should get a title shot.
Romance.
He should not get title shots when he lose number one contender spots.
He should have quit screwing up, and he should have got a title shot a long time ago.
Yeah.
Every time he gets to get the contender spot, he loses.
Yes, he
And then
does.
you're like,
Fuck.
Pretty much.
he should totally get a title shot.
Just out of pity at this point.
Pity. I think he would lose.
Yeah, of
And
course.
then where does that put him?
Well, you don't know. He only loses contendership matches. We don't know how he does in title matches.
Maybe he actually wins title matches?
Yeah, maybe he's the opposite of Faber. Right?
It's possible. It's possible. John Jones has his plea hearing set for September 29th. It's in 4 days.
All right.
So next week we'll have possibly some news for you
Maybe suspended for 5 years.
about John Jones. Yeah, that's not going to happen. He got cocaine and didn't get suspended at all.
It wasn't in competition.
But it's also a class 1 drug. Shouldn't he get at least arrested?
Violates the
Well,
code
you
of
would
conduct.
think for the way the crime was on
Right,
this one,
with
and
the-
exactly what happened.
Right.
It's bullshit that he walked on this. Total bullshit.
So we'll see what ends up happening here. Of course, Daniel Cormier still wants to fight him after he fights Alexander Gustafsson. He's been calling for that fight now
Good, then.
in the media, like nonstop. I have to fight John Jones to cement my legacy. You did. You lost.
Yeah, he ragdolled you.
I need a second chance.
Rousey is like me, only a girl.
What? Oh, that's
Nick
you want the
Diaz.
random right side thing? Yeah.
Yeah, and
She
probably-
speaks her mind.
And probably not stoned all the time.
Yeah. Well, at least not getting busted.
I
for it.
said probably.
less of a pussy than he is sometimes.
UFC has signed a new strawweight to their women's division. 7-0, Polish star.
Carolina Kowalkiewicz.
Very nice. Yeah, I can't. It's too many vowels or consonants.
Too many
Not enough
consonants.
vowels.
Yeah.
Not enough vowels.
Milwaukee with.
Carolina Kowalkiewicz. She is 7-0, you said?
7-0. 29.
Kickboxer?
Kickboxer, I'm assuming, comes from the KSW, which is the same one that had
Yeah.
what's his name?
Oh, she's in the crowd.
Maruz the Puzdowski, the world's strongest
right.
man guy.
Yeah.
There you go.
She likes to shoot guns and does Krav Maga.
There you go.
Good stuff.
And she's strawweight.
Speaking of that little sidebar over there with the Diaz situation,
Yeah.
Nevada State Senator
Oh yeah, good old
Tick.
Tick.
Segelblom,
Tick, huh?
Tick Segerblom, has spoke out against the Nevada State Athletic Commission, saying, "I don't think what they did was appropriate at all. Marijuana is recognized as medicine in the Nevada Constitution, so how can you punish someone for taking medicine, particularly if it doesn't enhance your ability to fight? They need to rethink this punishment and ultimately change their rules."
Whatever.
Well, that's the thing. The thing here is that it's in competition. He tested positive.
right.
I know the tests are all fucking flawed and everything.
Yeah, 2 tests by the World Anti-Doping Agency,
WADA.
who is trusted to do all these, and then you have Quest Diagnostics.
Which is really surprising.
Who
because
Quest
it's two entirely different types of tests. The one that's done by the first organization,
WADA,
Olympic,
yep.
is Olympic.
Is
testing.
Olympic testing.
It's two separate tests at one time.
Yep.
You're doing a certain volume, then a different volume, and then they do that testing on that. The other one is a
Quest
single test
for work.
Yeah.
Here's the problem I have with
So
this guy's statement, though. His statement technically is still flawed because you still can't have a certain amount in your system during competition.
Right.
So what he's saying is like, oh, it's medicine. It shouldn't be a big deal because it's medicine. No, because there's still medicine that you can't take in competition too.
Right, but I'm sure there's a bunch of guys that test negative for medicine or little bits and they don't ever report it because it's under the amount, and then you get one flawed test that's way over.
I'm not arguing the system itself. That was a big fuck up.
And not only that, Quest Diagnostics, if you remember, was the people who fucked up Sean Shirk's
Right. Oh yeah.
thing back in the day.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they tried to say, "Oh no, I know what you're talking about," and then they refused to test him again.
Yeah. No, I know that. I know
Nope,
that.
we
But
didn't
what
do
I'm
it.
saying is this guy's statement is flawed.
Crap. Somebody grabbed that
because
vial that had extra blood in it.
You still can't test positive for certain medicine in competition.
Just rinse it out; it'll
so,
be fine.
So his statement's still wrong. Just like the guy who was on fucking Ritalin, and he had to quit taking
I heard
Ritalin.
if you spit in it, that's get it.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just
spit
gotta
and blow.
you like lick
I think
it
that's something
clean,
else we
You
were
lick the
talking
vial
about.
clean.
lick the vial clean, right?
Your saliva will break it down.
You just rinse it out.
Right.
This is getting pornographic.
Pretty sure Quest Diagnostics is where I had to take my sample after I got a vasectomy too.
There you go. And I bet you was wrong. You can still have kids.
I could still have kids. Maybe I already do.
You never
Well, I
know.
don't know with that face. I'm not sure.
Definitely a face for radio.
We know. Hey, that's what it is.
Big announcement happened
Ugly
during
little kids running around Modesto. That's got to be Joey's.
the Bellator MMA broadcast. Fedor Emelianenko is returning to fight for a new promotion started by the guy who started Pride, Nobuyuki Sakikibara.
This is like least shocking news ever.
Right, I mean, we talked about this. It's going to happen New Year's Eve in Japan at an unnamed event by an unnamed organization with an unnamed opponent, but he's going to make $2.5 million. Just throwing that out
From
there.
an unnamed bank, of course.
Yeah.
Because it's all yuck.
I don't know. That's crazy to me.
Is that crazy? Spike TV is going to be the one putting it on.
The guy says he
Free
wants-
on Spike TV!
Free.
The guy says he wants to come back to fighting, and then he goes to some made-up organization. It's
Pride 2.0, Japan.
is it called Pride 2.0?
No, they don't have a name for it yet.
How can they do it free on Spike and then give him $2.5 million?
Spike's got money.
They got plenty of money.
They're owned by Viacom, man.
Crazy.
It's in 93 million homes in the United States. You pay for it.
And Japan loves Fedor.
And Japan loves Fedor.
Amazing.
So hopefully we get to know a little bit more before New Year's.
Maybe.
I wonder if his opponent knows he's fighting him, because, I mean, that's not very much time. Just
You
saying.
know who you're fighting?
It's going to be some no-name Japanese guy.
No-name Japanese guy.
Yep.
Speaking about Bellator, they're...
Who do you think? Who's out there that they could grab?
What if he's fighting Gabby Garcia? Because she's fighting on the same card.
Apparently. Allegedly.
At 205. She says she's going to fight at 205. I don't know who she's going to fight at 205.
Chuck.
Fedor. Who could they grab that's out there right now? Tito?
Tito's not going to fight heavyweight.
Yeah. I don't know who they'd grab to fight Fedor that would actually like be a draw.
Check Congo.
All right. I'll watch that.
He's in the Bellator heavyweight division, right?
Yeah, I'll watch that.
Emmanuel Newton, King Mo. I'd see him fight King Mo.
I could see
I'd rather.
fight him.
Maybe that's why Mo had a rib injury.
Newton gave it a try.
He just found out he was going to fight Fedor in January.
Kimbo Slice.
Kimbo. I'd see Kimbo fight him.
I would
He would
watch.
lose.
I would watch Kimbo fight Fedor.
Just for
all
the
day.
the nostalgia of it.
Like that could.
Brett Rogers coming out of retirement. Can we see Brett Rogers? Does anybody remember Brett Rogers?
Maybe I ought to find Carter and something.
That could be like my own personal hell. Like you go to hell and you get locked in a room and there's a TV in the room. It's like what's going on? Oh, this is your hell. You get to watch Fedor and Kimbo fight every day for the rest of eternity.
Is it the same fight, or do they come on TV every day and it's a new fight?
It's a new fight every day.
So there is a chance that Fedor could lose. Like that would make my hell be like, all right, this is the day. This is the day. Kimbo's actually
That would
gonna
make it
knock him
even
out.
worse.
Damn it! You didn't
Damn
make
it!
it happen.
Lost again.
This is the day. This is the day. It's a new day because it's not a looped fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's a new fight every
It's a
day.
new fight every day.
They always say you got a puncher's chance.
Yeah?
Kimbo slipped on the way in and like fell forward with his chin out, and Kimbo happened to swing at the right time.
That could be
He's
it.
looking a little heavy at Bellator, so that's a distinct possibility.
Somebody soaked Kimbo's gloves in ether.
Right?
And
It is hell, so they would combust, right? Like as he swings.
injected some mercury into him.
I like the ether.
Wow.
That'd be great.
Dynamite Bellator broke the attendance record for their events. For Bellator events, they averaged 11,000 fans in the arena,
Great event.
which is a promotional record.
And Gene was actually at the event. Give us
However-
some insight into that.
They said they did not do well with viewers on Spike. They only got 800,000 viewers between 9 and 12.
not surprising.
That also has the problem is that, you were running head-to-head with the Alabama-Mississippi game.
Of
Oh,
course.
man, you can't be going against Bama.
which was on ESPN. Although, how was it actually there? My thing is they said on TV it translated well, like people were able to go back and forth. However, being there, it was tough to like. I'm going to watch MMA and I'm going to watch kickboxing.
No,
I'm going to watch MMA and I'm going to watch kickboxing.
Not at all. The way they had it set up was perfect.
It was good.
Yeah, because I went walking through the whole place and I checked. I look at the view from everywhere, and
Yeah.
I have that advantage to go anywhere and
Right.
everywhere. And they really, really set it up well. And I mean, that was a hell of an event. It really was.
They said the only thing that was the biggest issue about the event was, unfortunately, and this is nobody's fault in like Bellator, is that the kickboxing matches were underwhelming. There wasn't a very exciting kickboxing match that was out there. And that could have been due to matchup. They could have been due to talent. That could have been they weren't going for it. But they just said kickboxing wasn't as exciting as it could have been. Would you agree or disagree?
The women's, when the girls were fighting,
Uh-huh.
excellent. I thought that was good. The one girl was kind of out of place.
You thought that was a decent matchup with Melendez and that girl?
No, but I think
Not that one.
it was nice to watch her talent
okay.
and see one who is really talented. The other girl was outclassed.
Very
Totally
much so.
outclassed. I mean, she beat the hell out of her. There's nothing there. But it's nice to see women out there. At least she gave it a shot,
Right.
and went out there. And as far as the other ones went, yeah, they were a little bit. I'm not going to say suspect, but I mean they were okay. They were okay.
Underwhelming.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. They could have been much more. But then again, it's a free event, so they're not going to give you all the good shit.
So before we get into the reviews of the fights and everything that happened last week and preview, we have the last little bit of news here is the saga of Dwayne Bang Ludwig against Uriah Faber and Team Alpha Male continues on.
They kind of touched on this a little bit this week on The Ultimate Fighter, too.
Last week we talked about how Dwayne says he just wants to bury the hatchet. He doesn't understand what's going on. He's over it. Let's let the guys train wherever they want to train. It is what it is.
That's where he wants to bury.
Uriah Faber he went on Ariel Helwani's show. You can listen to the whole thing. There's a lot of crazy things he was talking about. He said right off the bat, there was somebody who told him that he's a gangster, that Dwayne is a gangster, has money. He's always going to be fighting with money. He's always going to be talking about money. He's always going to want more money. He says this is true. He said, he offered him a salary. This is what I can pay you, plus, certain amount of purses, plus discretionary bonuses that I receive. I can't give you anything from the rest of the guys. Coming to find out, he says Bang was not only that, but charging everybody for private sessions, taking salary and charging guys for private sessions, having them do videos for classes and things like that, bleeding them dry. He's saying that there were issues with wearing sponsorships where he wanted to wear his own sponsorship, and Uriah said, "No, you're in my corner. You have to be wearing my Torque gear. My T-shirt guy's gonna be pissed if you're wearing somebody else. You can't You can't be doing that."
Right.
Things where they said he refused to coach any of the female fighters in the gym because he doesn't believe in women's MMA, and he also said that there was some possible questionable racist jokes, things like saying this is to all the black guys on our team. I need to make sure that all the black guys need to stay 25 feet away from all the females.
That's not funny.
So there's a lot of allegations
It's
going
almost
on.
cringeworthy.
A lot of allegations going on back and forth. Bang basically had another interview with Ariel, came back and said, "Look, I wouldn't say I'm against women's MMA. I do feel uneasy seeing a woman getting punched in the face. I don't like to train them. I will if I'm told to, or if I have to. However, I do not prefer to train women fighters. It's personal." He also said, "I don't know what he's talking about the jokes." He said these jokes float around in the gym all the time. I don't know why for him to point me out like that. He says about the money. He says it was a back and forth. Maybe Faber's a little bit punchy. Maybe he doesn't quite remember things. He has taken a lot of heavy blows to the head in his career. I don't understand some of those things that he says. But when you tell me you're going to do something, or I expect that, it's called being a man of your word. However, again, I'd like to bury the hatchet. This is going back and forth pretty good. You can listen to those interviews. They go pretty far and in depth.
Some pretty serious allegations on Faber's part.
Yeah. I mean, he says basically again, Bang wants to have everything be stopped. And he says he believes Faber fears his guys leaving his gym to come train with him and no longer become a representative of Team Alpha Male, and him losing big-time names, big-time checks, big-time trainers, big-time sponsors, all that kind of thing, everything going to Bang.
Well, that's always you have that gripe with a lot of places there. That's
Yeah.
why a lot of places don't like their fighters to go cross train. I mean, I've experienced this myself. You let your guy go to one place, and they see how good they are, and they go, "Wow, that'd be a real benefit over here." They start getting into the
Start
guy's
offering
ear,
him
see
stuff.
what and it's a cutthroat business. It is. I don't care what anybody says, and anybody who says otherwise is full of shit.
No, it's super cutthroat. I mean, all the way down to just jiu-jitsu gyms when they separate,
that right.
split, and they cut ties and they go open a gym somewhere else.
Sure.
Well, now because your fighters are your product. That's all you
Yep,
have.
that's right.
So when they
That's
go
right.
somewhere else, yeah, of course it's a big threat.
Do you think what the merit to any of it? Do you believe more in Bang's part of it? Do you believe more in Faber's part of it? Do you think
I don't know shit about Bang.
It's hard to say that, unless you know.
you don't
both
know?
of
Yeah,
them
if we're not
personally.
involved, but I mean,
and even knowing both of them personally, it's kind of weird from both ends.
yeah.
But I don't doubt anything in this business. I'm serious. I leave that door open until I hear it exactly or get it from that person. I'm not taking.
Should we just have Dwayne Bang, Ludwig, and Uriah Faber fight it out for their fighters?
No, they should just take it outside. They should keep it from the public.
Yeah,
They need-
there you
they
go,
need to
right
keep
there.
their laundry
It doesn't
in their
need
own
to be in
basket.
anybody's ear because it's
Well,
not their business.
I mean, that's fine, but if you got people like Ariel Helwani that are picking at him for answers, then it's never.
But
gonna
that's
be.
what he's known for.
That's
He's
what
No,
he's
I
fucking-
know,
he's a
but it's like, yeah,
douche.
should they keep it to themselves? Yeah, but they're not going to when journalists are trying to get more shit out of
Well,
them.
that's what it's all about.
So should we have them fight? That's my question.
Sure, I'll watch that.
yeah.
I'd watch
Who
it.
would win that fight?
Is it for a title?
No.
Faber.
Yes, it's for the title of who owns the gym.
Then Faber loses.
if it's just straight stand up,
Yeah.
I'd give it a bang.
If
Bang,
it's- if
straight
it's-
up, stand up.
Right up. I know that.
If it's-
for a
but if it's
long
for-
time.
He
No.
traded with Boss too, and he learned quite a bit from him. I remember that.
Telling you.
If it's not for a title, Faber wins. If it's for a title, he loses.
But what kind of title? Does it have to be a
Does it-
UFC
any
title?
title, any title.
Could be for
ti-
like a barbecue
could be
championship.
fucking title.
Barbecue
It could be the title to a fucking.
If we invite them out to the Looney Bin and they enter the barbecue competition, who wins? Bang or Faber?
Bang.
Bang. Just because Faber's not winning any titles.
Exactly.
All right.
Bang.
Faber couldn't win
Plus,
the title
Bang
to a fucking
ribs
car.
sound better
man.
than Faber ribs.
Yeah, this is true.
California Kid ribs or Bang ribs?
Yeah.
Bang bang rips.
Ask Faber. Do you have the title to your car? No, you don't.
He does it.
It's leased. It's leased.
it is.
It is leased. He leases. I know because my buddy Tommy got one from
That
him.
Mercedes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that black Mercedes.
So right before Titan FC kicked off, this is Titan FC 35, which was live on Fight Pass. Titan FC founder
Strip.
Jeff Aronson
Aronson.
stripped Pat Healy of his belt because he was 3 pounds over. So this became for a vacant belt. However, he said if Healy would to win this bout, he would not give him the belt back. He needs to have a fight after. If the other guy wins, he could give him. If Han wins, he would be the new champion.
Huh. Interesting.
What's his shirt say?
Which I love. Legalize Diaz. Supportive Nick Diaz there. So yeah, he made it for a vacant title. Stripped him of his title. This is now for a vacant title. I think this is pretty good. You guy misses weight, you strip him of the title. It doesn't become a catch weight. It doesn't become a non-title bout. You're stripped of your title. This bout is now for the vacant title.
Yeah, but if they just let you fight for the title immediately, that's not even really a punishment.
You get stripped of your title, it's considered you got stripped. I mean, you're taken of it. If he would have won, he's the new title. He's the new title. It doesn't count as his legacy. He's not, defendant.
On fucking paper, it does though. If you look at if he gets his belt back, I mean, I don't even know what happened with this fight, but he gets his
lost
belt
it.
back, did he?
Yep.
But if
We'll get to that right now.
If he didn't, then it's like on paper, it just says champ, 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 champ. It's like it's not gonna have an asterisk in between the two fights.
Missed weight.
Missed weight, stripped,
Stripped.
then immediately gets his belt back.
Rick Hahn did win that fight. Took the title from nobody. Kept Pat Healy from getting the title. How about that?
Poor Pat Healy.
Andre Harrison defeats Desmond Green for the featherweight title, and Tim Elliott defeats Felipe Efren for the flyweight title. That was on Fight Pass Live. Did you get a chance to see any of these, Dennis?
See, they even have the C next to Pat
Yeah.
Healy on there, like he was a champ coming into this thing.
Originally.
Yeah, I mean,
I do. Yeah.
it was good fights.
Some good fights?
Copyright
Yeah.
under that name.
A lot of submissions.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that spinning back fist and punches, the very first fight. I don't know if I seen it right when it happened, but I think they replayed it. It's pretty ruthless.
There you go. We also had Bellator MMA happen. This was the big event. MMA, Bellator Dynamite, mixture of Glory, kickboxing, and Bellator MMA. We had the one-man light heavyweight tournament which very interesting. Very interesting happens. We had, as an alternate bout, Francis Carmont defeated Anthony Ruiz. So he is an alternate for the tournament.
It's like the good old days of UFC.
Good old days. You then had King Mo go up against Linton Vassell and Phil Davis against Emmanuel Newton. Both King Mo and Phil Davis won their bouts. However, King Mo was unable to continue as he had bruised or broken ribs. Do you know what the official was on that, Gene? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Rib injury.
Rib injury.
We'll just go with. He had a rib injury, and he may be fighting Fedor, so that's why he pulled out.
Getting McRib.
So Francis Carmont went on to fight Phil Davis and got knocked out in the first round, 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Phil Davis becomes the number one contender in that.
Mr. Wonderful?
Mr. Wonderful, number one contender in the tournament for the light heavyweight bout, which we'll get to in a moment. You want to start there off on the prelims, Joe?
All right.
With Ousmane Thomas Diange.
Wait, where are you?
Right about here.
Holy shit. Okay. So Usman Thomas Diagne went up against Mike Marlett and got the majority decision.
Majority draw.
This looks like a lot of decisions this night, huh?
Majority draw.
Jose Palacios went up against TJ Arsegnal. This is a split decision.
That's Archangel.
Is it Archangel?
Yeah, it's Archangel and Palacios.
Oh, well, you read the fucking names.
That was a featherweight
Palacios,
kickboxing match for glory.
Yeah. And then Adam Chuck and Boyza Mazarov.
Yeah.
That was a decision, unanimous. And then Picacoli and Becerra.
Yep.
So he got submission with a rear naked on that.
Not a decision.
That was an MMA bout, of course.
Yeah. And Carasso and Neal on that bantamweight bout was a decision.
Just all decisions but one in the prelims.
Yeah.
Moving into the women's bantamweight kickboxing bout.
Carrie-Ann Taylor-Melendez gets unanimous decision over Hadley Griffith.
Yeah, that was outplaced, though. She did a really good job and everything, but that one girl...
Griffith shouldn't have been in there with Melendez.
No, not whatsoever.
Yeah.
But, here's a...
That was her kickboxing debut, right?
Yeah,
Griffith's?
Yeah.
And Melendez has fought quite a few times.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
She did really, really well.
Then
watch Gilbert out there. He was it was great.
Then you move Paul Daly, going back to kickboxing in glory.
Oh, is that what this was? It was a kickboxing match?
It was a kickboxing match at a catch weight of 175 pounds. Fernando Gonzalez. Paul Daly wins that bout.
And then Josh the Punk Thompson up against Mike Bronzoulis.
Bronzoulis making his debut for Bellator. Getting the win there.
Gets a nice 39-second submission in the third round triangle choke. And then Salo Cavallari up against Zach Morquesa.
That was a kickboxing match. That was the championship bout, right? Yeah.
And then we know Phil Davis over Francis Carmont. And then
your main event was Tito Ortiz against Liam McGurry for Liam McGurry's belt. Liam McGurry wins that bout, keeps his belt. Tito Ortiz not very happy due to an inverted triangle choke.
Twice. He fell into it twice. I mean, how stupid you got to
Bill Davis.
Tito Ortiz.
First of all, there was a lot of controversy surrounding Tito Ortiz grabbing the mic and wanting to say something afterwards for a post-fight interview, kind of cutting off McGurry. A lot of people actually thought he was ready to retire. Instead, he just blabbed on. So I think Frank Trigg was the one that was running the interviews, correct? Was it Frank Trigg?
I don't know.
I can't remember who was inside the cage doing the interviews, but anyway, they said basically they thought he was going to retire. He just went on and on, kind of interrupted the champion's post-fight speech, and then Phil Davis jumps in the cage and decides he's going to talk shit to Liam McGurry again, cut him off, and be like, "You got to make sure you train hard for me."
These guys.
Yeah, that's good shit talking there, buddy. Yeah, make sure you train hard for me. Well, I'm the champ, so I think I would.
Starting to compete with WWE or what?
It was a little ridiculous.
It was.
Poor McGurry didn't get a chance to talk.
Poor
Will
guy.
Brooks, his training partner and a fighter for Bellator, was a little pissed off about that too. So, a bunch of assholes.
Right.
Not letting the champ getting to have his post-fight
It was
speech.
his time.
Again, if he said, if Tito was ready to retire, I understood he was going to let him have the time. But then when he just kept going on and on, he thought, wow, all right, well.
He was the Kanye of the Taylor Swift moment.
Perfect.
And then we have two events going on.
What about the Ultimate Fighter this week?
Okay, you want to talk about the Ultimate Fighter?
Why would we not talk about the Ultimate Fighter?
I don't know.
Had another fight, of course, with Team USA and Team Europe with Conor McGregor and Uriah Faber.
Oh, is this tough? 22.
With the U.S. gets the win.
U.S. gets the win, which is still.
Conor McGregor's super pissed.
Yeah, he was yelling and throwing water bottles
and sweating
a lot. I like that he was saying he kept telling Faber, you need to dress your age. Why are you wearing jeans and flip flops? You need to dress your age. You're like 50.
Yeah, and you're right. I keep telling her. I tell him, I'll
Yeah.
get you in shorts and
I'm going to buy you some flip-flops.
You're moving to California anyway. You're moving out of Ireland. You're getting shorts and flip flops. Don't worry. And then he says, I'll dress my age when I can grow a beard like that.
I'm waiting to, like, for Conor McGregor, before he was Conor McGregor, who was he? I just feel like he was some bread-stealing little homeless fucking punk.
That's
and then
exactly
he
who
gets
he
like
was.
$5 in his pocket and he goes buys a fucking suit to put on this facade.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I feel like.
Well, I'm not going to take his skill away from him.
No.
No, of course. He's very
He
skilled.
got lucky.
I like his showmanship where, like I said,
When you're
Faber
fighting
that-
even
Streets
tells him,
for breadcrumbs?
you don't know the
that's
car.
the
You don't
thing.
own the car you drive. He's like, you lease it too, just like
Yeah.
everybody else.
His marketing, the way he just goes off. I don't really think that's just him. I think someone's helping him to just say, you need to just come out there and do this. But it's
Well, you got
what's
one
working
shot
for him.
to make yourself seen in the
That's
limelight,
it.
and it's
That's
working
it.
for him.
He even
And
says,
he's doing it. He could cut out now and live the rest of his life pretty damn well. You know what I'm saying? So
Especially
he's got
by
a long way to go.
what I'm sure his standards probably were before he started having this money.
Yeah.
Just how he presents himself.
Oh, yeah.
I'm making assumptions here, but he looks like, he's got fucking found money, and he's still an asshole.
But he needs help with his dress. He needs help. Someone needs to show him how to
McGregor,
wear a suit.
constantly goading him, saying, you need to fight TJ Dillashaw. It's the only fight for you.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, and that kind of goes back to the Bang thing, because TJ Dillashaw has said, he's sided with Bang on this entire thing.
I'll fight him.
Yeah.
Man, he said he'd fight him. TJ Dillashaw said he'd fight him.
Yeah.
For the money.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
So, USA comes out on top again. Chris
Because
Grutzmacher
if you saw that kind of fight,
defeats Sasha Sharma.
Yeah.
Right. Would have to train his ass off.
Right.
How do you like this season so far?
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah?
I think...
How about the skill level of the fighters?
I thought it was funny that they said, that the USA team didn't look anywhere near as skilled as Team Europe, and now
they're winning.
And
They do
USC's
look
2-0.
pretty good, yeah.
And the first guy who fought the Wizard, man, that guy,
Yeah.
what the hell, man?
Ryan Hall?
Never even heard of that dude,
Yeah.
and he is insane with his leg lock submissions. Unbelievable. So I don't know. I'm interested to see how it progresses. Connor's a little too much.
How do you feel about his training? At first you said he's going to be off. He's not even going to work with them, and then you see he doesn't work with them in the morning. They do light training in the morning with all the other trainers, and
Yeah.
then in the evening
Nothing
he
wrong
comes
with
in
that.
and does hard training.
Well, we've only seen it for 2 weeks. We'll see how it progresses, really.
And we don't know what's been edited to.
Yeah.
If you've got a good observe and report and know how to set up, you could work that. And maybe he's got that down. But like you said, we'll see.
We'll see.
Interesting stuff.
So now can we move into Bellator that's happening
Fine. Now we can move into Bellator that's happening
tonight. By the way,
Tonight.
on Spike TV.
At what time?
Are you going to this one?
Yeah. I will
Yeah, it's
be
in
there.
Texas
I will
right
be
now.
there. Hey, I fly.
You got a jet right
everywhere.
outside. Fire up the jet.
And look out in front.
Yeah, I thought I saw it out there.
Yeah, C-25's out there. No problem.
Anything on the undercard you want to go over?
No.
No. Okay.
You can watch it on Spike.com. I can't watch that.
Anything on the main card that you want to watch? Joey Beltran and Kendall Grove.
Yeah, what year is it?
Well, you got Texter.
year is it?
What year is
I
it?
didn't even know they're in the same weight class.
I didn't. Joey Beltran dropped. He was light heavyweight.
Yeah, he was. That's
Yeah,
okay.
he
All right,
was.
that's what I thought. All right. So the Executioner going up against the Hawaiian Kendall Grove. Aside from that, none of these names really
Crack.
pop
Which
up.
I always go back to the Execution. There was some comedian who talks about the Executioner's nickname, and he goes, "I love this guy. He's all, but I don't understand his nickname because you would think a Executioner is someone who executes Mexicans, but he is Mexican himself and executes other people."
That's what Pacquiao's nickname is, though, too, right?
Pacquiao's nickname is Pac-Man.
No, it used to be. Didn't it used to be the Executioner a long time ago?
I don't think so.
Really? Somebody told me that.
George.
Someone's
No,
lying.
it was
to you.
not George. It was not. It was actually Will.
Let's look this up.
I say because he's not Mexican.
No, he's Filipino.
No, but he was beating Mexicans like crazy.
Well, he just named him.
He's a Filipino.
Oh, there it is, right there. The Destroyer, the Executioner, the Filipino Slugger,
A Executioner. Really?
National
Because he
Godfather,
was beating
and
Mexicans in his early
Nation's
career like
First.
crazy.
Yeah, well, that's true, but I never realized they called it that.
I never did either.
That's hilarious.
It must have been an insider thing.
Yeah, because I'm insider with the boxing community.
Well, you found
Joey learned how to edit Wikipedia.
that's what it is. He just did it off his phone.
It's okay
Yep.
as long as you don't make any racial remarks, right?
Joe
That's
Warren
all
going
I
against
do
LC
is
Davis
make
is your
racial
main
remarks.
event. Check that out on Spike, or you could check out. Is this happening tonight or like at Sunday or it's happening in Japan?
What's that road?
This is UFC Japan Fight Night.
Well, is it Brazilian time or?
I don't know. Do we have to bring out the charts again
it's
and the
Saitama.
maps and the
That's a
math
really
and
nice
the
place,
plus four,
Saitama.
the
Where's the
minus
abacus?
4?
Japan.
Fight night, Barnett versus Nelson, happening down at the Satihama Super Arena where they used to have Pride, which is awesome.
I like this is a good card for Japan. I mean,
A
they got
lovely card for Japan.
Barnett is just one of their favorite fighters over there, and then you got him going up against Nelson, and then Gerhard Mousasi going against Uriah Hall. Those are two pretty solid fights for your main event.
Yeah.
And then the pretty much the rest of it are your local guys from the area.
Yep.
Going up against
Local guys from the area.
going up against other dudes.
Going up
Good
against
old Nick Kine. He lives over there on
Right.
the corner of
Yeah.
Yin and Yang.
No, he's going up against Yasuki Kasua.
Yeah, that's right.
So you can check this out on Fox Sports 2, which I'm pretty sure you get on DirecTV now. So I can watch it at my new restaurant.
So Jangalang's fighting,
But I can't watch it at home.
but Jangalang is on the undercard.
Yeah.
Mizuto Hirota is kicking off your main card. Then you got Katsunori Kimoto, or what is it?
Kikuno.
going up against Diego Brandao.
Yeah.
George Roop is going up against Takeya Mizugaki.
George Roop has been out for a fucking year.
Right?
Mizugaki's going to tear him up.
Was it an injury?
Just saying. I can't find anything.
Nothing, huh?
Kyoji Horiguchi is going up against Chico Camus.
I got Horiguchi all day.
Or Gucci.
You're going to take every Asian fighter on this card.
Not true. Gegard
Which-
Mousasi is not Asian. Neither is Uriah Hall, and I'm
Which-
taking one of them.
Which Asian fighter are you not taking on this card?
Josh Barnett.
Which Asian fighter are you not taking on this card?
How long is he in Japan?
Okay,
I'm pretty
I
sure
think,
he's Asian.
Noyuki Katoni will not beat
Kaijin Johnson?
Kyoto Johnson.
It's Kajan.
Kajan Johnson?
Kajan Johnson. John Johnson. Don Johnson.
Yeah, I'm taking Horiguchi over Kamas, though, easily. Mizugaki over Roop. I could go Diego Brandao. He might win that
Over
one.
Kikuno?
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm going to take Musasi over Hall.
I think
I'd like to pick Hall. I'd like to pick. If he's
I don't
smart,
think that's going to happen, though.
he'll be able to use the range and just like Lyoto Machida did, kind of keep him at bay a little bit and, be able to rack up points. But I think Musasi's going to get frustrated and take him down.
I think technically we're looking at a better fighter, Musasi, also. And if Uriah Hall isn't going in there with a killer instinct, he's
Right.
not going to finish the fight. What do you got in Barnett and Nelson?
Barnett.
Yeah?
Yep. Make his epic return to Japan as the Godzilla king that he is.
Taking Nelson.
If he works on that knee and he keeps his stand up good, he can do it.
Yeah. I'm going to
Nelson's
take
a tough sucker. Though.
I'm gonna take Barnett.
Those knees aren't going to find anything under that belly.
Okay, we got Barnett. He's got.
I'm taking Nelson.
Dennis?
Barnett. I hope it's Barnett. If Nelson beats him, I think it looks bad for Josh.
Okay,
Josh fights Fedor in January.
If Joey loses, Joey
Finally.
wins.
If he
we
loses.
do the next interview, or we got to sit here, bud.
So those are my two picks right there. Fedor's
Whoa,
opponent.
wait a second. You got some weird fantasies going on in there.
Fedor's opponent for January. King Mo or Barnett if he loses.
Dude, if it was Barnett, people would go ham because that fight never happened, right?
Right?
Yeah.
I still have the original T-shirt from that event that doesn't exist.
But I don't see them
Really?
releasing Barnett to do that.
Still in the
fight.
package, Affliction T-shirt. It's got the dates on it and everything. It's badass. Never worn.
Yeah.
I don't wear Affliction to begin with.
He
Yeah,
keeps
it's like
his
they were
MMA
giving-
stuff like Star Wars gear.
Yep.
Right.
They
Well,
had they were
he
giving.
doesn't
out
have any
Affliction
sparkle butt
10th
jeans to go with the
anniversary.
Affliction shirt. That's what the problem is.
I don't have the what?
Sparkle butt jeans.
No. I can't do them.
So that's it.
Sparkle,
Are you
sparkle,
not bro enough?
sparkle crotch on the pockets. I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Sparkle on the ass pockets. Can't do
If you
that.
want sparkle butt
The
jeans,
Jazzle
I know a
your
guy.
butt.
You know, a guy? Does
I
he
know a
bedazzle
guy.
himself?
Maybe.
As long as
possible.
they're not in the little what are they called? The little saint symbols.
And you said my
Fleur-de-lis?
sitting
Fleur-de-lis.
around
I was trying to think of it, but I was just
naked
I was like, it's the
fucking
yeah,
weird.
fleur-de-lis. It's
Talking
candy
about
fleur-de-lis.
dazzling
The
their
eagle
fucking
wings
knees and shit.
or the crosses maybe fleur-de-lis.
You're not Canadian.
Right?
You're not Canadian.
Right.
If you're Canadian, you can do fleur de lis on your butt.
Josh, who you taking? Josh Barnett or Roy Nelson?
Roy Nelson, fuck it.
All right. There you
Roy
go.
Nelson, fuck it. There you go.
There it is.
And that, of course, is happening tomorrow night. Well, I don't know. Sometime tomorrow. It's in Japan. We don't know.
I believe it's happening tomorrow night
it's happening right now.
on Fox.
14.
It's happening right now tomorrow.
Brazilian time or no?
No.
You got to carry the one, or you not?
But it
carry
already
the
is tomorrow in Japan.
That's right.
It is.
It's tomorrow.
It says it's happening on the 26th
12.
6th.
in
It's
Japan.
happening.
6 in the
No,
morning.
26 is when it's airing. I
It's
believe.
like 6 in the morning right now.
But it's the 26th in Japan right now.
No, it'll be yeah.
Let's see if we can get live play-by-play from one of the sites. Jeez. Oh, the internet went down. That's fantastic.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Of course, you can find us on Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, on iTunes, as well as iHeartRadio. Make sure you tell your friends. Throw us a like on Facebook at Split Decision MMA Podcast. Also on Twitter and Instagram at SD_MMA. Check out StrongboardBalance.com. Change the way you work out. Get on board. StrongboardBalance.com. And, of course, MyMMAnews.com. Gene, thanks for being here again.
Thank you for having me.
We always appreciate your company.
Love being here.
From the Ruloff Family Inc. Studios, it is Bueller and Dodge saying have a good night. We'll see you at the fights.